Hello everyone, my name is Lowko and welcome to some more Legacy of the Void. Today I got a pretty interesting game for you right here, and I want to mention right off the bat that this video is by no means a balance complaint. It is just something that I keep running into on the Legacy of the Void unranked ladder, and it's something that I haven't found an answer for yet. I've been going up against this, I think, every third to fourth Protoss game, but I think most Protoss players will catch on to this all in very shortly. So I'm up against Goblin right here. Goblin is honestly the guy that executes this build order the best, and he is basically saying right here, hey, wanna go up against the unstoppable build, like the impossible to stop build? And I'm like, sure, let's try. So basically, right from the get-go in this game, I am fully aware of what my opponent is going to be doing, and I'm going to obviously be spawning on the other side of the map right here. But I want to let you know that with this build, it seems to be unstoppable. It seems to be something that Zerg cannot deal with whatsoever. I've tried Banelings, I've even tried Overlord pickups, I've tried Mass Queen, I've tried Roach, Ling, whatever you have. And it doesn't really seem to work very much. Now, it may mean, actually, just so you know, it may actually mean that Zerg will need to start opening up with a much earlier Zergling speed and shut this whole situation down. And that may actually end up meaning that you can't go for your hatchery first. But this is just something I keep running into. So don't think this is a balance complaint, but you know, it is just something that I really want to share with you guys, so you know what is going on the Legacy of the Void ladder. And let me know, by the way, if you like these sort of things, if you know, want me to upload more of these kind of build orders for the other races. So basically what this build is all about, right? You may be wondering, what is this all about? Basically what he's going for is Adepts. He's gonna go for a lot of Adepts, and he's basically gonna keep pressuring me up to the point where I'm gonna be in a lot of trouble. So the build order for this is actually Gateway, Gateway, Cybercore, Gateway, or Gateway, Cybercore. I'm not exactly sure on the order of things. But the basic idea here is that he's gonna start chrono boosting out as many Adepts as possible. And keep in mind, I know that this is happening, right? I'm getting an early gas geyser right there. I'm gonna make sure that I get everything going that I need, and I'm just gonna try and basically hard counter this to the best of my abilities. But he's gonna start chrono boosting out the Adepts. Now, Adepts are the new unit in the gateways, as many of you will be aware. It is sort of like a mix between like a Zealot and a Stalker. There are 100 minerals and 25 gas, and they're very good against everything except, or like they're exceptionally good against light units. Now, the ability that these guys have is called the Shade right here, and basically what it does, like as soon as this times out, they will teleport towards that shade, and I can cancel it as well. Now, after chrono boosting out 2 of those, he starts chrono boosting out the Cybernetics core and keeps making more Adepts, still off of 1 gas as well. And then he adds on 2 more gateways at 300 minerals. So very basic, very basic all-in. 300 minerals, add on the double gateways right here, and just start making 4 Adepts at a time. Make sure you get a pylon across the map as well, and start being annoying. Now, the idea behind this is that 2 Adepts actually kill 1 drone with 1 hit. So as long as you know, micro properly, you will basically never lose these things. Now keep in mind, he can activate the psionic transfer ability to become a Shade, fake to go into the main base, which I'm assuming he will right now, but then basically just pop out of there again. So most of the time, you know, if microed correctly, this is not gonna lose you a single game. Now, as you can see, my response to what he was doing, I paused the game right now, but my response to what he was doing was to immediately after realizing that my opponent didn't go for an expansion yet, and immediately after seeing the Adept, I put down the Roach Warren, and I started putting the drones back into the gas geyser and start saving up pretty much everything that I have. I got Zergling speed on the way already. I don't have very many workers at all. I got 22 workers, and I'm not gonna make any more. I'm just gonna start making non-stop units right now, and well, you'll see what happens. Now, I don't actually end up microing this absolutely perfect either, but it should give you a reasonable indication. So right here, he fakes the aggression into the main base, and I'm forced to defend the natural right now with a couple of my queens. Now keep in mind, I never know if he's actually going into the main. He could just be going out of the main, and he could be going into the main as well. So right now, he is going to activate it, and once again, he's over there. Now, the nice thing about this for him is that he can actually actively deny the pylon, or the probe that kills the pylon 100% of the time. Like, as long as the Adepts guard the probe that is moving out, I have absolutely no way of killing it at all, unless I throw a lot of Zerglings at it, at which point, you know, it's not going to be worth it either. So, this pylon is basically bound to go up. And now, keep in mind, I am just making non-stop units right here. I got a lot of units already. I got a massive army already at this point. 6 Roaches, 12 Zerglings versus 8 Adepts. But this is where the scary point really starts happening. He has the Warp Gate finished up right now, and he's going to start warping in Adepts on the other side of the map. Now, keep in mind, he can always respond with some something else as well. If you see me go, you know, Roach, for example, he can just follow it up with a whole bunch of Stalkers. If he sees me go for a whole lot of Zerglings instead, he can just go Adept Zealot. And he can basically just decide, you know, after seeing what I'm going for, what he wants to go for. So right now, you know, it's still actually looking in my favor. It's still looking very good. But he just keeps warping in more and more stuff. And this is where things get scary. So this is where things get really scary, right? I do not know if these Adepts are gonna go for the main base or if they're gonna go for the natural. And that is where things really become tricky. I know I can push back this army, for now at least. But I don't know if he's actually gonna engage my units in the main base or my units in the natural. So I'm forced to split up. I'm forced to split up my roaches towards the main, and then I realize, oh snap, there's actually no Adepts in the main at all. Gotta send them back to the natural. And in the meantime, he did a bunch of damage to my units, he wasted a transfuse, and he's just gonna keep morphing in more and more units. Now still, at this point in the game, I'm like, okay, I got this, right? Like, I get a bunch of kills here, microing forward, killing off a bunch of Adepts, and he's gonna be forced backwards, at least for now. So once again, he's faking right here the move into the natural. And, you know, I am forced to be defensive. Keep in mind, I'm making non-stop units. I'm still just making, you know, no drones whatsoever. And my opponent just keeps warping in. Now, because he knows, okay, my opponent is really roach heavy, he's gonna warp in Stalkers instead. And keep in mind, he can add on a second gas as well, which he actually already did, to ensure that he can keep warping in those Stalkers. So honestly, like the build that he does right here, the 1-base Adept 4-gate all-in, is extremely powerful because I don't know how to answer it. I have no clue what to do. I could go for like 16 spine crawlers and I could try and defend it that way. But at that point, he will just adept past the spine crawlers and go for the main base. If I go for banelings, it is not cost efficient at all to kill these guys. And if I go for mass roach, he starts warping in Stalkers. It is very difficult to establish the bigger economy, and normally you stop a 4-gate by simply just putting down a bunch of spine crawlers right here, and you will shut it down completely. He's not even adding on a mothership core either, which I'm sure is possible if executed correctly. And in the end, I just end up falling to this build order every single time. So I wanted to ask you guys, what do you think I could do against this? Is there something that I'm missing out on? Is there like a strategy that I should attempt? Because it feels to me that I've tried pretty much everything. Mass Queen Spine Crawler, Mass Roach Zergling, Roach Zergling, or I already said Roach Zergling, Mass Roach, Mass Zergling, Ling Bane, you know, like pretty much everything just gets shut down by these things because they force me to be, on the defensive, and they force me to split up my army. And keep in mind, I knew that this was gonna happen. He literally asked if I was gonna go, or if I wanted to play against this, but I just haven't really found an answer to this strategy. So once again, as far as the build order goes, he goes for a gate, into a cyber core, then another gateway. And then when he has 300 minerals, he warps in 2 more gateways, and in the meantime, he chrono boosts out 6 adepts out of the first 2 gateways, and he also chrono boosts out the warp gate. And in the end, once you realize that you're starting to pile up quite a bunch of minerals, you can add on the second assimilator as well and go from there. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. I want to thank you guys all for watching. Have an amazing day. Don't forget to smile, and I'll see you in the next one.